remind you, just because of the technical difficulties that occur, if you all have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go do that just in case, okay? Because we're having the problems, but they occur when truth is announced. All right, so we're going to attempt it again in a few minutes to get back on the air. If not, we'll be right here, okay? But make sure you go over here to my YouTube channel and subscribe. It's Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. Is the icon, the queen with the sword. Please subscribe to the channel. Like, go do that right now. I see you, Frazier. Thank you, beloved, for being there. Appreciate you. Because things are bound to happen as they have been. And I don't want you all to miss anything because of technical difficulties, which is not really difficult on our end. Y'all know they're being deliberately interrupted. So make sure that you can get on over there. I would really like you to do it like now. Because at 9 o'clock in a few minutes, we're going to make the attempt to get back on Blog Talk Radio. Okay, so we're gonna try it again in a few minutes and see what it is. But either way, information shall be given. All right, so stick with us. I see you, bro. Thank you for coming back. Give us a minute. Please, please, please. I really want you all, if you have the ability to get on 2 platforms right now, do so just in case one of them goes out. If you can stay here on Facebook, that's cool. If you can also go to YouTube and log in and subscribe, please do that. I don't want to lose you because it's a possibility. So go to YouTube and subscribe. Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. The icon is the queen with the sword. You'll see it. Make sure you click on there and subscribe. Some things are going down. Robert Hill, what's going on, loved one? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Give us a minute. We had some technical difficulties with Blog Talk Radio. There are there's like 5 of us now that are on the radio because we had a guest and somebody else called in and was talking, and in the midst of him telling some truth, it went out. Imagine that. So stay here, but also, if you can, go over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. Again, click on the icon, the queen with the sword. Just in case you get lost over here, you'll be available on the other side. Okay? We're going to try back again in a couple of minutes to be back on Blog Talk. So I don't know if that's going to shut you down when I have to call in. I'm going to try not to, cut y'all off. But that's a possibility because I have to use my phone to make the call. So, just warning you. If that happens, just come on back in. Okay, you can come back on here, or you can go on over to YouTube so you get this information. I want you to get this information. Okay, I cannot tell you what it is at this point, just in case. But trust and believe is something that needs to be known. Don't believe. Trust and know for a fact is something that needs to be known. What's going on, Shonda, beloved? Thank you, love, for being here. I appreciate you. And if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. Click on the icon, the queen with the sword. We've been having some technical difficulties due to some truth being told over here. They got a tendency of taking folks off and, muting them and all kind of shit when you tell the truth. So, make sure that you have done that. Go do that like right now. We're going to be coming back shortly on Blog Talk Radio. We got pulled off while truth was being said. So Queen Goddess, the King Advocate, Queen with the sword icon on YouTube. Please go subscribe over there like right now. I'm going to make the attempt to, maybe not. Let me see. Maybe we won't be going back on. Well, have you, and this is the whole point. Most of you all are here anyway, here. So I'm going to go ahead and just give it to you. All right, so again, obviously, we are still in the midst of having conversations about COVID-19 and where it came from, what it's doing, the cures, the purpose of it, who it's affecting, all of that, okay? And I made mention, and I will keep making mention to you all, that is not where your focus needs to be. That is the distraction. That the conversation that we're having about that are the distractions. That's what's keeping it alive, if you will. The things that are not being talked about, that are not being put in your face, are the things that are the most important. And that's what we're going to be talking about now. What is the purpose of the distractions? That's what you need to know. You need to know the purpose of the distraction. So we're going to talk about it, okay? What I have come to learn about is, and I've had some knowledge of some things for a little while, but not necessarily in complete detail. But what I have come to knowledge of is what is called Project Bluebeam. Please take note, okay? You might want to share at this point. Project Bluebeam, okay? First of all, the theory was brought about by a Canadian, Sergey Monast, M-O-N-A-S-T. The project is a government project. I need not have to go into explanation about that. And there are 4 steps to it. The operation, the purpose is to gain control of the people and to introduce NWO and a new religion. And I want to break down religion real quick, if I may. Watching something else. People are not really, I won't say familiar, but educated on or even care too much about understanding the words they speak, the definitions, all of that. The word religion, as we've been taught to read it, just my opinion, okay, is one misspelled, but it indicates many of something. The word is legion. Legion is an indication of demons, many of them, okay, which is what we're dealing with. So the religion is the release of, that's the R-E, it's the release of many demons. That's what you're dealing with. The purpose of the Project Bluebeam is to basically take the collective of the many legions and make it one major legion. One major, I can't say legion, but one major entity, and cause people to be under the control, the mind control of it. This is the introduction to NWO. How this goes, so there are 4 steps to it. One of the steps, or the first step, let me ask you a question. Let me do that first. If you've heard anything about the trails or the weather being changed or certain things happening in the sky, different things like that, it's not just because the weather happened to change. Okay, certain things are being deliberately done, and it's like in order to see something clearly, you have to make sure the background is clear, that is clean. For me to be able to project to you, I have to make sure that you can see me clearly, okay? So the first step, manufacturing of sophisticated secret weapons causing targeted and calculated earthquakes to open the earth and retrieve religious artifacts that are then said to be real. The belief in these artifacts causes people to about the lies that are exposed. So what has been happening for quite some time, we've gotten some information about people going to certain places all over the world, digging up so-called, I won't say so-called, but digging up artifacts that have dated back to biblical times or whatnot. And it's been made, or been said that these things have been falsified or, whatever. They weren't necessarily falsified, but it's made to make people believe that they are. The first thing was to dig up these artifacts. I'm gonna read to you what I have. Okay, I just want to read it. because it's so much information. Okay, so again, the theory by the Canadian Sergei, I'm saying Manis, there are 4 steps. Government operation whose purpose is to gain control of the people and introduce NWO in a new religion using equipment that will be projected in the air. This is the reason for the spraying and the chemical release. So the view will be clearly projected and seen and internalized as truth to the masses. The images will be of all religions merged as one, manufacturing the sophisticated secret weapons, causing targeted, calculated earthquakes to open the earth and retrieve religious artifacts that were then said to be real. The belief in these artifacts caused people to discredit the real truth about the lies that are exposed. Biblically, there's a reference for that, which would be Isaiah 5:20. Woe to those who call good evil and evil good, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Okay, pay attention. Step 2, the conspiracy to create a gigantic space show, which we just basically talked about, space show using 3D optical holograms, laser projections to create effects and images of the Christ Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Krishna, which is covering the 4 corners of the world, merging as one entity. The explanation is to discredit the doctrines that expose it and they'll show false evidence that's what's being said. It's like proving a lie. So there will be evidence shown to prove a lie. Okay? And there will be many people who are going to believe the lie because that's what they want to believe. We may get pulled out. I got to answer this call because this is the radio call. So if you all get on over, that's what I'm telling you right now, get on over here to YouTube. Go now. Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. The icon is the Queen with the sword. Click on that and subscribe and go live right now while it's up. Because I got to take the call. I dismissed it, but I got to take the call when it comes back in so we can go live back on Blog Talk Radio. Okay, so that's your warning because you probably will get clicked off. So I gave you the first 2. The third is the creation of the telephonic wave program that accesses the mind, tricking one into thinking that the Most High is speaking. All right, I'm going to pause on that. Let me take this call. You all get over where I told you to get, and hopefully we'll be back. If I lose you, do that. If I don't, then you can stay. All right? Yes, ma'ams.
So, can y'all hear her?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, y'all still here.
Hear you.
What's going on?
Okay, I don't know what just happened, but Kim, you want to call DJ so she can chime you in?
Okay.
I'm gonna have to hang up my phone because I tried to call Kim and I can't call anybody. What I'll do is and you guys call me back. I'm gonna hang up.
Okay.
Do you want us to call the radio?
So wait a minute. So we're just like Kim, you okay over there?
I'm good.
What she got, y'all? She said she's good. So okay. I want to see how we can.
Do you need me to call the radio line though?
No, it wouldn't let me. It would not let me start another show.
Not let her start a show. Said you can't do a multiple one. Would not answer the call. Her call won't go through.
No, it wouldn't. Wow. It wouldn't let me. It would not allow me to restart another show.
Wow.
And it cut out our audio. Like you can hear the music, but you can hear us talking.
Right. Yeah, I could hear all that. Exactly. Yeah, I heard the music very loud. So look.
So Kim, call me so I can. I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
Well, whose line am I on?
You're on Armory.
Armory, what's going on? Okay, so Patricia, you want me to call you?
I love your passion. I'm like, she about to go deep.
You already know.
Like,
yes, ma'am.
They was ready. They was ready. That's why Kim said, "Don't play music real long. I only got a couple minutes to talk about this."
Right. Exactly.
Damn.
Exactly. So I got my phone on Facebook, but I can call and then pull them back in. Now I'm calling you, Patricia.
Huh?
I'm about to call you.
Well, maybe I should try to call you.
But if I'm on the line already, then what are we doing?
So they can't. Misty can't hear you talking.
Misty and DJ can't hear you.
Oh.
Okay. So she's gonna call you, and then you can call DJ. I think that's fine. I can call DJ. Okay.
DJ, you on the line? So maybe I should. We're trying to get a conference call going on.
Well, it sounds like we already on one.
But they can't hear you, Kim.
Oh, so DJ is not on anybody's direct. I mean, she's not on. Okay, she's on somebody else's call.
Okay, so I want to call her.
Kim?
Yes.
Because right now, what
DJ? What you just say?
Peace, Phoenix.
you should be able to call Kim because DJ.
Okay.
Can I have the force to do this? Okay, so let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a Google Doc meeting invite. All you got to do is click on the video conference and we'll all be on.
That don't work for Metro. Remember, we had that problem before.
It will be once you go. Wait, we'll all be able to see each other and hear each other because right now everything is so.
Okay,
Everything is recorded, the sound is recorded. I'm going to go ahead and send it.
Y'all be patient, please.
And then I think that would be our best bet.
So my question is, are we supposed to do this with our phones?
If you all can go to YouTube, please do that. Please go to YouTube. 6% of mine who's awake works in urgent care. Those tests are bogus. She has swabbed up her hand, sanitizer tested it, and it came back. I told you. I told you.
EBONY.
Wait a minute, because y'all are on Facebook also. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm still going live, so I don't know how much of that information you want over the internet like that.
Huh?
I'm still on Facebook and YouTube. I'm still live. I'm still going right now.
I'm gonna text it to you, Deshaun, because she said she's still online. Yeah. Text her what you want her to use, Kim.
As far as what?
Misty, you talking to Misty? Is she still on?
Who, Misty?
Yeah.
It don't sound like nobody is on here for real, for real.
Let me see if it's on there. I don't know what just happened to her. She was on there for all that time. Let me see.
Please be patient, you all. We having some technical difficulties. We're trying to figure out how to do it, how to get everybody back online so we can have our conversations like we were before we were interrupted. So if you all would still be patient, I appreciate it. Again, I'm encouraging you to get over here on YouTube and subscribe. Queen Goddess, the King Advocate.
100@yahoo.com.
Yeah, I'm putting my lip gloss.
And it's called phone conference. I'm going to hang up this line
So hang up now. Everybody's supposed to hang up?
Yep, and now my camera is already going down. I can't tell. So I'm
Okay.
fine.
All right. Okay. She said she's sick.
I'm on some. Whose line am I on? Marie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so am I supposed to hang up or what?
Did you see something coming to your email?
You're supposed to
God is
from the email.
She sent an invite. I'm trying to make you see it pop up.
Did yours pop up, Kim?
Yeah, I saw something pop up. So I'm going to my email now. Do I open up the invitation or the other part?
I ain't got an invitation.
The video. Join meeting.
Go to my chat.
Okay, camera is starting.
Which one am I supposed to push? Oh, video.
Camera is off. Put that on.
Join meeting. Verify it's you. What am I supposed to verify? What the hell is that? That's my son's thing.
I really wish I could help.
Yeah.
These are times I'm upset that I'm very
Maybe I
familiar
need to,
with technology.
maybe I need to sign in next.
Yeah, this ain't working.
I don't know what the heck.
Did she say we got to get asked to join or just?
Oh, let me take you off of this one because this one's just my son.
Okay. All right, I'm on.
Let me come back about it again. Allow, but I need to click out of here.
I don't know what's going on over here. This is too much.
But I'm gonna have to cut back out because I don't want to be on my son.
Because for me to be on that platform, I'm not gonna be able to be on YouTube. And I got people on YouTube. If I go over there to that platform, it's gonna pull me off. It's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't be face to face
So there's
with
no like combine it. It won't let you combine.
let me see. Oops.
What I did about 3 years, so. It won't let me, it says switch account. Here we go.
Okay, so I'm on Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. Let me see if it's okay, those people who are on YouTube, we're trying to do this other little something or another. I want to see if you all can still see me. Okay, so I need you to participate in the conversation. I'm going to ask if you can see me when I switch over. All right, so I'm about to switch over now. And if you can still see me, let me know. Can you all still see me?
We haven't got that far, Kim.
Okay.
I think they're bad at tricks.
Okay.
They're not allowing her to turn on the camera or microphone. They pulled a cutthroat, dude.
Yeah, why you mad at me? I ain't do nothing.
But I'm saying, like, how do we know? Like, I know I'm here. It says on the move phone conference, and it's DJ Deshaun or me and her on the call. She said, I'm on the video call waiting.
It's not even letting me. It's my thing now. When I switched to my own thing, it just went to a spin. Like, oh, we recognize your ass, troublemaker.
Okay.
Man.
I ain't even doing nothing. I'm just trying to have some fun. We're just trying to do more than move unscripted on purpose.
She can talking to him.
Yeah, this is too much.
Click her screen twice. I can't hear her ass.
This is too much. I done lost my whole audience. You could see me when I was on the other page, Z?
I think I gotta come out.
Y'all can still see me?
Somebody else.
Because the thing is, if y'all can still see me. I can't see you. I can't see anything that they're posting.
Let me do it on my phone. I don't know what the heck.
So when I just went away just then, y'all can still see me. YouTube, y'all can still see me when I can't see that you're here. Y'all can still see me.
Call in, you guys. Oh, okay. She said call in.
She doing too much.
She's talking to me.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I got mine out.
Okay, cool.
I'm playing games. I'm online with these people.
You know.
That's that Ohio stuff.
You know.
That was just deep to me. Like, see, that was just deep to me. Like, why would that happen? Like,
And why didn't they mess with nobody else except you?
right?
I'm gonna quit trying to make you paranoid.
So you make
I'm thinking it's just a glitch in your computer.
no, I'm thinking that's too glitchy. Like,
It was
and I didn't hear what they about to say. So I looked at my kids.
all I heard from her. It was about to break it all down.
That's why it went out. See, now my Facebook done pulled out. This too much shit.
Did it?
Yep, it just cut my folks right off.
Oh my.
That makes me think there really is some fucking shit right here.
Like maybe they are watching y'all. Thank you for allowing the guests to come on the show for the one time.
Okay, so now Facebook done went out, y'all. So I just put it back on. I can't do all that at once. I cannot. So this is what's happening. I can't go live on this new meetup thing with YouTube and Facebook. I can't.
So she said call in.
If I call in to what?
Did you get the little thing she said?
It says
It says call in now. Okay. So the number you're supposed to call is, oh, you're still alive?
Kim is still alive.
Yeah, I'm still live.
Did you get the text that she said?
Nope.
All right, so let me find.
This was a fan chat. I'm really going to take a computer class. I am confused beyond belief. I feel like Barney 5 trying to uncover a murder investigation. Like, I think of something, but he's like, what is that?
You see that? The first set of numbers is the call-in number, and the second set of numbers is the PIN. Did it come through, Kim?
Yes.
We don't have our damn show. I don't know what
Okay. All right. So I need to hang up from y'all then and make this call. That's what that means, right?
you call that.
Okay.
If we don't hear from you, we know you had to finish taking care of your audience.
Exactly. If you don't hear from me, log on to Facebook, to YouTube, and just get live with me on YouTube.
Somebody, you'll be talking to somebody tonight.
Oh, indeed.
Talking to you.
Okay.
All right.
It will be going down. All right, y'all. I'll see you in a minute.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, y'all. We're going to try this one more again. We're going to try it again. But give me a minute to make this call, hopefully. It's a damn mess. I hear y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to go back on my Facebook.
Is this an account?
It is.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna try this again.
You were able to log in.
Yes. We're gonna
Patricia
try
didn't
this
come in
again.
yet.
See what I'm saying? This is a mess.
But when I'm saying the platform right now that we have is very hard to hear. It's a lot of background noise. And it's just hard to hear. And then we're all talking. It's just really hard to hear.
Can everybody hear right now?
We all talking once. We all talking once. Can nobody, and then can I understand nobody, and then everybody get quiet waiting for the person to talk and everything. So. Well, but even the there's a lot of noise, the background. I don't know. Like now, I can hear you guys very clear on this video call.
Okay. Everybody can hear everybody.
Yeah. Yep, it's clear.
Okay, cool. Okay, so if y'all don't mind, I would really like to get this information out.
I hear Patricia now. Yeah, we hear. Are you on Facebook Live or did they shut you down, Kim?
I'm on Facebook and YouTube, just in case, because I already know they done shut me down twice already.
Look, I'm looking at a hot mess, but I'm about to get on here. We're about to do our little YouTube over here in this side. You ready, Maria? I'm ready. We don't have our day on, so we need that because I'm trying to figure out what happened.
Okay.
Let me go on. Whoever they is. We already know what happened.
Right. YouTube, I hope y'all are still with me. Are y'all still with me to say something? Say yes. Just let me know that y'all are still here. This is important. I know y'all got other things to do other than sit around waiting on our technical difficulties to be cleared up. But if y'all would still, please be patient. See what I'm saying? Facebook tripping. They trying to cut out again.
Your Facebook cut out?
They tried that. They tried it. They tried it. They tried it.
So bad.
I'm still here.
Like, oh, they talking too much about this coronavirus. They don't want us not to let everybody know. Quit paying attention to that and pay attention to everything else.
But that's why I'm saying.
They got their minds distracted.
That's why I'm saying we don't need to keep talking about that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. We know we on limited time. We know we got ears and eyes on us. So while we have the moment, the information that need to get out need to get the hell on out so people know what to do real quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Right. Yeah. I'm making me feel like the boogeyman's out there. You need a bouncer over there, Patricia. I got pipe up with this 9mm with the 15 inch with the power good. Maybe I go upstairs and people stop making noise. I come back the whole damn shut down. I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? Right. And the guy
are y'all still on YouTube? Not y'all, not the ones on the phone. I'm talking to my YouTube people because they ain't saying nothing. So I'm trying to see if they still here.
So, we were in the midst of having a really good show. This is my friend, by the way. Hello. What's your name? No, you're R. Marie. R. Marie. So, R. Marie and I were on air with Nancy and John and Kim, and we were having a really cool conversation, and we had a microphone with him. Didn't say his name. He was real patient, wasn't he? Very patient. And then he said, I got something I want to say. Y'all want to go ahead and take a music break first? I'm like, yeah, I couldn't wait to hear what he had to say. So we go to music break. I'm done. I come back. I said, I want to give you the floor so you'll be able to say whatever it is you want to say. So he started talking. And so I missed what he was saying to the kids upstairs, in school house. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to run upstairs. What was he saying? What was he talking about? What was he saying?
I don't even know now.
He was saying about there is, I didn't catch the two Latin terms that he used.
Oh, New World Order. Yeah.
Arrest in Human Affairs, New World Order.
Yeah.
That's what he was talking about.
Right.
What he was talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed it.
That was part of it.
And then all of a sudden it just hung up.
Right.
I mean, when the music started playing, and then we couldn't hear nobody, no nothing. So he was giving some regular information. And you know what happened? I don't know. Like when I was on Blog Talk, it's like it's just our audio was taken away when we couldn't hear each other talk. The only thing that would play was the music. So that makes me feel like whatever was being discussed, somebody somewhere somehow didn't want to discuss, and I missed it. Damn it! That's like going to the kitchen to get the popcorn and you miss the best part of the movie.
Right.
You come back and like, what happened? What happened?
I think my folks are gone. My audience gone.
Like something or someone somehow, and then so I was like, well, let me restart another show. You know, so we can pick up where we left off, but it would not let me come back on air.
It wasn't.
So, Kim?
Yeah, my audience is they are not in the building. They are gone on both platforms. They out of here.
Who's gone?
YouTube and Facebook.
They shut you down again?
No, they just left. Like the audience, because it was, you know what I'm saying, like it was too much back and forth, too much whatever. So they out. I hate that.
Okay.
But
well, I'm on live right now, Kim. So go ahead and say what you got to say.
All right. So what I wanted to give some information, and it's really important. So what I'm gonna do, I want to read it the way that I wrote it out. Okay. Because it's a lot of information, but I'm gonna break it down into just the steps that are given, and to reiterate that the focus that is on the virus is the distraction. Having the conversation or the constant conversation on the virus is listening for things that are not being said. That is the information. Having said that, it's a project. It's a government project called Project Blue Beam, and this will give you an insight on why this particular movement, if you will, is occurring. Again, I'm just going to read it as is. If you all could just give me the opportunity to get through it without us having any in between conversation, that'll be cool. And we go back to it if you don't mind. But I will definitely clarify some things if it needs to be clarified. So the theory was brought out by a Canadian named Sergei Monist. And what it discusses is the agenda of the government agenda, basically, and all the steps that are going to be taken to induce certain activities to happen. So there are 4 steps, okay? The government operation whose purpose is to gain control of the people and introduce NWO and a religion. Keeping in mind that religion, the word legion means many demons. That's important, okay? And the way that it's written is incorrect. This is my understanding, okay? The way that it's written, religion, is incorrect. It's religion. And that meaning the release of many demons. Religion, the release of many demons. Now, with all of that, they're using equipment that will be projected in the air. This is the reason for the spraying of chemicals and to release the view. This is the reason for the spraying of chemicals. So the view will be clearly projected and seen and internalized as truth to the masses. So what's happening? People are paying attention, or you will start seeing things happening in the air where it may look like fog. It may look like some strange shit just dropping out or whatever. They're telling you they're going to be spraying to get rid of the virus or to get rid of any type of contamination that may be exposed shortly. That's not the case. What's actually happening, chemicals are being sprayed in the air to make sure that the air is able to receive and to project the image that is going out all over the world. It's like cleaning the screen so everybody can see it. Okay? Right. That's what's happening. So the images will be all religion. They'll be based on all of the religions, and it'll show them being merged as one. So people are going to see this, and of course they're going to be captivated by it, and they're going to.
Hold on, I just want to. I know you said not to interrupt you, but I just want to know: is this something that you're reading out of a book?
No, I'm not. No, this is part of a plan. I'm reading it the way that I wrote it down, so I didn't miss nothing that I wanted to say.
Yes, indeed.
But no, I'm not reading it out of a book. But
this is something that you feel is going to happen. I mean,
it's going to happen. It's going to happen. First of all, and without me going through all of the particular details, this is written. Okay, it is written. These things are going to happen. But the way that we're taught to read, we're not understanding how parables are written. We're not understanding the language that things are written in. So we're looking at it, oh, this sounds like blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, that ain't what it is. You got to understand what is actually being spoken. So these things are written. And it's happened, it's been put out many years ago. This ain't new shit. It's not new.
So what I want to say is, whether it's New World Order or whether it's a virus or whether it's military war, all of it is enticing fear. It doesn't matter. Even what you're talking about is enticing fear. If we don't concentrate on New World Order, we concentrate on a virus.
But you got to understand the steps to it. You got to understand how it's happening. What just got said? I didn't hear that.
I said all of that is enticing fear. Whether we talk about New World Order is enticing fear, or we talk about a virus that's enticing fear, or we talk about war as far as us against another country, it's all enticing fear. So I think that in spite of whatever is about to happen, whatever is written down and whatever is the time that you want to talk about spiritual warfare, that was the topic that you wanted to discuss.
That's what this is.
Like that's exactly what this is.
That's
what was and whatever we need to switch it and talk about spiritual warfare and how can we stay at peace.
I'm giving you the information, though, sis. I'm giving you the information. The only way to stay safe is to understand what's happening and how it's going to happen. The biggest thing that people are going to be looking for, and I'm going to say Christians, because I'm going to say Christians. Okay, the biggest thing that people are looking for to happen is the so-called rapture. They're looking for the Most High to come down and grab people up and save them out of this world and all this kind of stuff. But what's being forgotten and missed is that it was also written in the same book that people are going to be tricked into believing something that is not the truth because of how it's going to be presented. That's why you got to know the information. You got to know how you have to know how you're being attacked.
Okay, so my question is, so what are you saying? You're saying you don't believe the Bible?
That's not what, Patricia, that's not what I'm saying. That's not even the topic of discussion. What I'm telling you is you got to understand the word. You got to understand the meaning of what's being said. You got to understand how the information is being given. You got to understand how people are being tricked to receive information that is not necessarily the truth because they're missing the real information. We're not taught to interpret or to understand the wording as it's written correctly. We're not taught it. We're not taught to understand that language.
So what is your solution to the problem?
Listen to it. The solution is to listen to the problem. Listen to the problem. Listen to the weapon that's being used. Whatever feeling, listen to me, sis. Listen.
When you finish your question, are you going to also have a solution?
Listen to me. Listen. Just listen to me. But you got to listen without feeling. I hear it right now. I hear it. Listen without emotion. This is not a personal attack on anything that you know, feel, think, believe. None of that. It's information. Information is your weapon.
I understand, but I also understand what I do understand, what I do understand is a lot of this New World Order talk also starts to shoot at the Christian faith, at believers, which the Bible does say.
Patricia, that's what I'm saying, sis. You gotta. I haven't even finished. I haven't even gotten to the first step. So you have to listen to it.
I'll be quiet.
But please take your feelings out of it. That's all I'm asking. Take your feelings out.
Take my feelings out of it when you start to saying things that Christians believe.
Let me say this. Now let me prove a point right now. Let me prove a point. Because you and I right now are having this quote unquote battle right now. This is exactly the point. This is exactly part of the agenda. This is exactly part of the movement. So that you will be in your feelings as a Christian, so that somebody else will be in their feelings as a Muslim, so that somebody else will be in their feelings as a Buddhist, whatever, so that you miss the information. That's the point.
Hey, Kim, go ahead with the information. Go ahead with the information.
Yes.
And I can wait till you're done, or maybe it can paint a picture. I would like to share the vision that I had real quick about 4 years ago during the election. And it's kind of, before you talk about your vision, let Kim get this out, please. Let her finish talking, say this part, and then come with your dream. Finish it out. Is it real long, Kim? And see, the only reason why is because when Kim talks about taking your feelings out, it's like, okay, with this picture, because that's just the vision. The vision is just information. It's information. It has nothing to do with feelings. So maybe, so then I thought, well, maybe if I inject this in, you can get a visual, and then her information that she's going to, follow up with will paint a vision, because the information, I'll say this, let Kim put out, and then you come back, you might soften what the hell she about to say. Kim about to come hard for it, but I'm going to need some cushion. So can you say that cushion dream after she gets this? Oh, that helps. Doesn't matter, but I just thought, hey, Kim has heard it before, so Kim, you go right ahead, hon, and then come back, DJ, with the vision, because that'll help me with Kim with what Kim's about to say.
It's just it's just information, okay?
Right.
To start where I left off at. The images will be of all religions merged as one, which will captivate the people, causing them to believe that the Most High is speaking, opening the door to the Antichrist. The first step, manufacturing of sophisticated secret weapons, causing targeted, calculated earthquakes to open the earth and retrieve religious artifacts that were then said to be real. The belief in these artifacts causes people to discredit the real truth about the lies that are exposed. Okay, so people are going to hear and see the truth. What's being said?
Well, is it being tricked? People are going to be tricked. Right?
Absolutely.
Like they're going to come and say, all this chaos is broken out, then here's the solution. And the solution is going to lead you down, is going to be destruction.
It's like somebody telling you, if somebody tells you that the cure to your runny nose is to take this box of tissue and blow hard as hell until all the snot comes out. That's the cure. Okay? Assuming that's a fact. That's the truth. I'm just using it as a made-up scenario, but that's the fact. That's a truth. Okay? Then somebody else comes along, or a bunch of other people come along and tell you, no, that's not true. That has been just shown because of blah, 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 blah. This is the real truth here. And you go against knowing the actual truth because the people have brought you another so-called truth, which is really the false truth, but you believe that one. So you already really knew what the truth was, but you've been led astray to accept the false truth instead. You understand? You're
No.
being led and controlled and you're being controlled, led to accept the false truth as the real truth.
Right.
This is.
So what you talking about? We live in.
Say what now?
Basically, you're saying like we live in the Matrix.
If you let me finish, you'll know it. You'll know.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to know.
You gonna know whether you want to or not. No, not knowing. Listen, not knowing ain't gonna save you. Okay?
Right.
You gotta have the information.
If you go, you know what I will say, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish, Kim. But what I am gonna say is, regardless of what you say or what plans the enemy has conjured up, or whatever information you have that don't nobody else have, or whatever, the one thing I do have is God by my side. That I do have. And so, if all that you saying is demonic, whatever, release, earthquake, pull second souls, and all that kind of stuff, I ain't gonna be there. I'm going to light.
But but this is the thing, Patricia. Listen, because you can be deceived into believing that what you see is exactly what it is that you want, because that's what you want. It will be presented. We talked about this on so many different levels. Things that you ask for. When you speak out your mouth, Lord God, whatever you say, I want. Whatever it is, you speak out your mouth. Do you think that the Most High righteous God is the only entity that hears that? That is the only entity that can hear that, that can provide that thing for you?
No way. I believe that. But I also believe that God said He will never leave you nor forsake you.
Understood. But in order for you to know which God you are dealing with, you have to know how the enemy is going to present itself as such. You have to know that. You have to know that the righteous God is going to always be the righteous God. But listen to me. There is a God of wickedness and deception that will appear to be the same God that you're looking for if you can't tell the difference. And it's written in the same Bible that you read and or study that says even the elites will be tricked. Even the angels, if possible, could be tricked. So if the angels who are right there with the Most High know Him from the beginning, could be tricked, what makes you think that you cannot? This is what I'm telling you. It doesn't matter. This is what I'm saying. It does not matter what you believe.
I have a promise from God that says that He will protect us. So even no trick of the enemy can stop that promise. I don't give a damn.
It's not about him, Patricia. I'm gonna say this, and you ain't gonna like it. And I love you to pieces. I love you on purpose with purpose. Know it. Listen. Okay, I love you to pieces. But that mind state right there is exactly how the enemy gets in. That right there, because you're not receiving the information. I'm giving you the information. This is not a battle of religion. This is not a battle of belief. It's not a battle of what the Most High said. What the Most High said is what the Most High said, and His word, her word, its word, however you receive that, will be. It will not return void. It will be. However, as people on this earth, as energy beings, as spirit beings in a physical form, we have to know exactly, first of all, how the Most High communicates to us, how we are being shown the difference between the righteous one and the wicked one. If you are caught up in your feelings, you will miss it, because you will base what you feel, you will pay attention to only what you feel. So when that thing is, when that thing manifests itself in physical form, you are going to draw yourself to it because that's what you felt. That's what you believe in. That's where all your energy went into. That's how your mind processed. Yes, the Lord said He was going to do blah, blah, blah. I get that. But both gods heard that. The wicked one will present its, the wicked one will, listen, the wicked one will present itself as an angel of light. That is even what he called. He will present himself as an angel of light. It's written.
Test the spirit. And to qualify, how no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Patricia.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper.
It will prosper if you don't recognize the weapon. If you don't recognize the weapon, it shall prosper. If you don't understand that you are in war, it will prosper. If you don't understand the type of war that you're in, if you try to go to war with a gun and it's a knife fight, you're not going to win. If you go to a spiritual war trying to take physical weapons, you're not going to win. It doesn't matter what you believe, sis. It does not matter on this point whether you believe it or not.
Answer this for me. Because, I mean, when you ask someone for something or whatever, it doesn't always happen like immediately sometimes. But I have not once in all my years on earth, I've been here half century. Yeah. I'm like, but not once have I called on my Heavenly Father that He is not coming through. Not one time. And I don't believe, I do believe that there's wickedness, because when the seven seals is broken, for those who believe, that you will see the Antichrist. Do I believe the Antichrist is on earth right now? No. Do I believe the Antichrist is Trump? No. Because the Antichrist is brilliant. It's in the Bible. It's a brilliant. And it's not, as we can all agree,
right.
He's not that bright. But, I just don't believe he's there. But I believe when you do pray like to my Heavenly Father and your faith is true because He sees your heart, then I do believe that He believes His followers. I do believe that we are covered. We are covered.
Now with what you just said, with being covered with people who believe and who are His followers and all that, I get that. But in following Him and in believing, He gives you instruction. He's saying, pay attention to what I'm telling you, what I'm saying. And it's going to be shown to you. You're going to get information from other sources. You're going to get the information. Don't block the information. Receive the information. The way that you listen, it's not about, it is not even about your heart, how you feel. The Lord knows my heart, absolutely. But you're judged upon what you do. What you do also includes how you pay attention. What instructions are you following? Are you following my word? Are you listening to my word? Or are you allowing your feelings to get involved with your...
There are weapons formed against you that will prosper. That is not His word.
Did you hear everything that I said? Did you hear everything that I said? Did you hear everything? Did you hear everything? This is my point. That's my point. You missed it because you're listening emotion. You're listening with your feeling. I said, if you don't understand, if you're not prepared to recognize what the weapon is, it can and will be used against you, because you can be made your own enemy. You can be made your own weapon. If you don't understand how the weapon is drawn, if you don't understand what the weapon looks like, if you don't understand how the enemy presents it, if you don't understand what the enemy looks like and presenting it.
So what's the difference? And you already telling me you don't got to tell me that every little bit about the enemy. But what is the weapon that we supposed to use? What is your weapon against what it is you're talking about? What is the solution? What is? How do you combat what you say is about to happen? Give me that part.
I've been trying to give you this. I've been trying to give it to you since we started. But you won't let me get past. You won't let me get past step one. I'm trying to show you what's happening.
All the way down there to the bottom to find out what the fuck is going to happen. Let us see what it is. What's the solution?
You have to know the steps, Patricia. If you don't want to know the steps, then we ain't gotta have a conversation. I'm not gonna force feed you. I'm not gonna force feed you. I'm not gonna force feed you. We can disconnect the call. We can disconnect the call. I will continue with those who want to listen.
Hello. I know one thing. I'm about to say my piece in this last little 5 minutes because I have been quiet, kind of. But I would like to say this, and you guys could comment. But what I would like to say is that for as long as I can remember, God has always given me dreams and visions. And during the election, the last election, which is a little bit over 4 years ago, God gave me the vision, and it was surrounding, and the vision came that He was showing me, I want you to see what's coming. I want you to see what's coming. Now, everything, the location was the White House. And if you can go, and so the movie that it was, the movie God gave me was, think about the Independence Day. And everybody's seen that movie, hopefully, Independence Day, Will Smith. And then when looking, he was just showing me, and everywhere on the ground, it was dark. There was fire, there was bodies. It was devastation. And so that surrounded the politics, that surrounded the system, that surrounded the government. What I believe is saying, you have to have a direct, not prayer, relationship, connection. This whole coronavirus, so we know that going back, and I hope I'm not talking in here, but going back to the word, from what I've read and know, that this is something that's coming. God, it's been written that this world is going to be, the enemy, the system is going to run this world. That is the trend. We are in the midst of a revolution. They've been planning this forever. Now, you gotta just be in contact with God, be in prayer. And you do have to know, in the word, God said, you know your enemy. You have to be aware. We don't have to be in fear. We just have to know.
Right.
We just have to know. And for me, in my experiences, God is just taking people. He's just taking people, preparing them, taking them out of this world, and those that are left, we just have to be on high alert, knowing that this is prophesied to come. And you know the system, the government. So the thing is, my last point, this whole coronavirus, I started watching God and the Holy Spirit has shown me. If you know what's going on in the spirit realm, and this was years ago. This was years ago. So we don't have to live in fear. We just gotta know it's coming. So what I want to say is, like you, the solution. The solution, Patricia, is know the information, whether you research prayer, know the information, and stand firm in the word. Because there's nothing that we can do about anything that's going to happen. God said, I'm coming to get you. People, we are going to be like, Lord, just come. I don't even want to be in this world no more. He said it's going to get to that point where we're going to be begging God, just come. It's going to get that bad.
Okay. So I want to thank you to your benefit, Kim, because I don't want you to think that I was attacking you or whatever, or anything. I did have a dream, which is the title, and in that dream, I did see the warfare that you're talking about. That there are demonic spirits that walk amongst us. That are already on earth in human form, but there are also angels who are also walking amongst us in human form. So whatever. So many angels that are going to be here that are going to have our back. So we do not have to live in fear. No weapon. No weapon regardless of what the weapon is or how it's presented. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. If you have faith and you trust God, He's going to protect you regardless of what form, what way, or how it happens. Because He knows your heart. Because you have a personal relationship with Him. So you're covered by that alone, regardless of what happens. In the world, with all that kind of stuff, I refuse to live in anybody's fear, whether it's New World Order fear or demonic, whatever, to come fear or anybody's fear. I'm not going to live in nobody's fear. I'm going to trust God and I'm depend on His word, and that's how I choose to live. I'm not saying what you're saying is not true. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that what you're saying, John, is not true. I'm not saying that what everybody's saying is not true. I just refuse to live in anybody's fear. Right. Because when you talk about your side of what's going to happen, things that are coming, that's still bringing a sense of fear. I don't live in anybody's fear. It's okay to know that this is coming, but you don't have to live in fear. You don't. You pray. And you know that God, it's like God, make me aware of information that's coming that's really a manipulation. And it's already been written and said, and it has been. And this is, I've been hearing about this since I was little. But then the vision, God, the vision and that dream, and then I thought about it. God said, what really was Independence Day? What was going on in that movie? The aliens that had high technology, they strategically planned, just like the enemy, to kill all human life. In the movie, in the dream, in the vision, comparing, God said, go back and understand what the movie, what actually was taking place in the movie. So they strategically placed themselves all over the world. They had a plan. They were regimented. They were on target. They were on time. They were together, and they came to attack. And their technology was totally high end. And that one guy sounded. He said, "Oh man, they're using our own satellites against us." Exactly. If that ain't the enemy, if that ain't the systematic, if that ain't it, I just had the vision. So in talking with Kim over the past week or ever since it started, even when I see the news, the information is processed to me totally different. It's just I can't even explain it. And fear was setting in, and
then I cancel that. So then again, you got to know, and then you got to be aware, and you got to check that, because the weapon will form if you're not paying attention.
The weapon is, if the weapon is prophesied to form, it's going to form regardless, or by whatever that they're saying is happening, that's forming, and all that kind of stuff. You still can trust in God, and He's not going to allow you to be deceived. You have your God, you have your you believe that the Heavenly Father, the good light, the good spirit, the good God is going to protect you in spite of what happens, and you stand on that in spite of that, because all of that stuff can entice fear. Even this world order can entice fear. You need demonic spirits and its legions of demonic devils and opening up of the earth. That's enticing fear. All of that is fear to me. But I'm not living in that kind of. I'm not living in that energy.
Let me say.
I'm not being that. Whose reality?
I want to ask two questions, and I want to say something. First of all, this conversation ain't about fear. We weren't even talking about that. And the information is not to incite fear. It's to give information. It's for preparation. One of the questions I have, or this ain't even a question, because I'm not sure exactly where it's written. It's written nonetheless, but one of the things that Most High has an issue with, and it's written, if y'all can find out where exactly it's written, is a person who is overly religious, because they're a person who is overly religious and not spiritual misses the point. Yeah. A person is written, these are not my words. A person who is overly religious misses the spiritual point. Also, the second question was, what are the words that come before and after no weapon formed against me shall prosper? Because what people have a tendency to do is take one or two words or phrase or whatever out of the Bible and want to use it as this is the word, period, dot. But there's information, there are words and information and instructions given prior to and after that people miss or completely dismiss because they're trying to make a point on just that one part. So if you can go to a Bible, go to it and tell me, read it, what does it say right before it and right after it?
I'm gonna do it right now, and really, if I can, Kimberly, if I can go, if I can use the Message translation.
Use whatever you have.
Hold on, I love the Message.
G. Walker pulled up. He says, "Don't be so heavily bound that you're no earthly good." Don't be so heavenly bound that you're no earthly good.
There's no weapon formed against you will prevail, and you will be briefed.
What comes before that?
Every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servant. Okay, let's see. But no weapon can hurt. Okay, hold on. Let me go to let me hold on. Let me go to the actual Bible application where I can see it in its entirety. So I'm going to go. What scripture said no weapon formed against you? What scripture? What Isaiah 53. Hold on. And then I'm going to go to the Message translation. Okay.
Zeke, pull that up for me, if you will, loved one.
Okay, so now,
yes,
it said.
What scripture? Well, I mean, what part? Isaiah 53, what? Verse what? Like, where we at?
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, 54. No, Isaiah 54. Let me see. Sure. Isaiah 54:17, and I'm in 11:17. Hold on. Okay.
I can look it up.
Yes. Okay, so it talks about now. I'm reading the Message is your translation, Kim, and I hope this is correct. If anyone attacks you, don't for a moment suppose that I sent them. And if any should attack, nothing will come of it. I create the blacksmith. I don't know what it is. This is I'll just go to what Isaiah 54 what? Okay, so it says, verse 16 says, see, Isaiah 54, verse 16.
No, she went to 11.
17, but I'm going prior to the prior verse. It says, see, it is I who created the blacksmith who fans the coals into flame and forge a weapon fit for its work. And it is I who have created the destroyer to wreak havoc. Then it begins to say, no weapon formed against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the inheritance of the servants of the Lord, and this is a vindication from me, declares the Lord.
Now, who was he talking? And this is why I asked the question. This is why I'm saying that you can't take just a part of it and run with it. Because prior to all of that was some more information. There was another part of that story. There was another part of that parable, whatever it is. You got to know who was talking, who was being spoken to, keep the stuff in context. Because that also is used as a weapon. And that can be used against you if you don't understand what's being said, who is being said to, and the time that it's being said, and the reason that it's being said. It's got to be kept in context. Those things can be used as a weapon against you. That's why you have to understand what the weapon is, how the weapon is formed, because it will be and can be used against you.
Kim, okay, so you said this, so we're in Isaiah 54, right? And right before that verse is 54:17, right? 54:17 says, no weapon that is formed against you shall succeed. And every tongue that rises against you in judgment will be condemned. So right before that, up here it says, you will be firmly established in righteousness. You will be far from even the thought of oppression, for you will not fear, and from terror, for it will not come near you. If anyone viciously attacks you, it will not be from me. Whoever attacks you will fall because of you. Listen carefully. I have created the lips of blows on the tongue of pain. It produces a weapon for its purpose. And I have created the sword of no weapon formed against you will succeed, and every tongue that rises up against you in judgment will be condemned. This peace, righteousness, purity, and triumph over opposition is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and there's says the Lord.
Now, what is the story? What is the full story? This is what I'm saying. What is the? You don't ever get when you read a book. Listen, when you read a book, any book. Listen. When you read any book, you don't start from the middle and go out. You don't start from the middle and go from the front into another middle to the back and the back. There's an order. Okay, so. Whatever it is that you're talking about, something precedes that. So in order to know that what you're speaking on is being held in context, you got to know everything that precedes that to know that what you're saying is exactly what that means. That is for everybody. Because and I'm not saying this is the case, okay? Because I don't remember it. For all you know, if you don't know it and haven't studied it and know it completely, that could have been speaking specifically to that individual about something specifically about that specific time. That's what I'm saying.
If you have in your spirit, if in your spirit you feel strongly that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, then that particular situation, that verse, that word pertains to you, because that is what you are feeling and believing and standing for. So if he said, do not fear, do no weapon formed against you shall prosper, he's giving you the spirit of peace, then that's what it is. Regardless of what he's
This
talking
is
about.
not about fear, Patricia. It's not about fear. It's about the information.
But when you start talking about the earth opening up, the fires and flames and legions of demons, that is producing fear.
No, it's not. Patricia, how many earthquakes have you heard about? Have you heard about earthquakes?
You specifically said.
I know exactly what I said.
Flames will come out and demons were going to come out.
That is not what I said. That's not at all what I said. See, that's what I'm talking about. You heard out of your feelings. That's not at all what I said. Not at all.
Read what you said. Read that part that you said then. Read what you said.
Manufacturing, this is a step. Manufacturing of sophisticated weapons causing targeted and calculated earthquakes to open up the earth to retrieve religious artifacts that were then said to be real. The belief in these artifacts causes people to discredit the real truth about the lies that are exposed. What did that say anything about demonics? The facts are you have seen or have heard earthquakes. You have heard them happen. This ain't no made up shit. This ain't no my thought about nothing. This ain't about no inducing no fear. This is real. Earthquakes have happened, have they not?
I stopped you when you started breaking down the word legion. And you started talking about what legion really meant and what was about to be released. That's when I stopped.
But why would you stop me on that?
Because like I said, that is producing fear.
No, it's not. It's giving you fact. Now, if you decide to be fearful because of a fact, that's your choice. What it is exactly what it is. The word legion means many demons. It means that. Religion is the release of them. I'm telling you, religion is the release of many demons. When you think of the story, listen, when you think of the story, when the Most High when Yahshua cast the demons out of the man, and where he put them? He put them into the swine, correct?
Well, into the pig.
Yes, he cast them into them and called them what?
But what did the enemy say? The enemy said, you can put me anywhere, just don't take me out of the region. Because what they do, they take over a territory. Many demons. It's not about the man or the person, it's about the region, the legion. Jay preached on this called what is that? All the time where he talks about the legion and you know, Jesus was passing out the demon, and demons said, "Hey, I get out the man, but we don't want to leave the region because it's a territory. They are taking over territory because they come in legions. They're regimented. They are together.
Legion, many demons.
This is our attack, period. Because the enemy already knows he's going to lose. So what he's doing is trying to get as many of us to go along with him.
And it happens in the mind first. It happens in the mind first.
Yeah.
Your mind is going to create an emotion. It's going to create a feeling. Your feelings are going to produce an action, which is why I stress, fuck your feelings. That's why you cannot operate in your feelings, because you miss the.
And this is what you're about to experience, and this is what you're about to see, and this is what's going to go on. It's like you're manipulating and telling
No,
me.
I rebuke that 100%. No, ma'am. I tell you what, I love you, but I ain't gonna let you put that on me. No, listen, if if you in particular, I'm talking specifically to Miss Patricia, if you are going to stand, listen, if you are going to stand on the word of the Most High, and I'm not saying don't, if you're going to stand on the word of the Most High, you have to know what it's saying. You have to know what he said. These words are not even my words. I wrote them down so I can understand. Listen, I wrote them down for me to be able to give you the information. These same things are being told to you. They are being shown to you in the same book that you read, that you're trying to beat me with. The same thing. Listen, but listen, but listen, but listen, you're saying or coming at me like or trying to use it as a defense or that's your protection, that's your guard. That's cool. I get that. But if you read all of the parts of your weapon, if you read all of the instructions in your weapon, if you all of the characteristics and parts that are going to occur in your weapon, you will see that this information is written already. It's already written. It's about knowing how to understand how it's written. This is all I'm telling you. Know how it's written.
You're saying it's written in the book of Revelation. So we know these things are going to happen. We know these. We don't know when. Man does not know the time of the hour. We don't know when, but yes, we know that the prophecy has to be fulfilled. We don't know if it's going to be in our lifetime or the next lifetime. We don't know when, but we know it's going to happen. So I'm not saying that the things that you're saying is not true because it's already prophecy. What I'm saying is I refuse to live in anybody's fear. I'm going to trust God because I'm not religious. I've never been religious, but I am very spiritual. I have a relationship with God, which allows me to walk in peace in spite of what's going on around me. So no matter what weapon comes, how many legions or whatever, what man does, how many wars, there's always going to be wars and rumors of wars. That always, if you know this Bible story about how this earth is going to be in. But I refuse to, for however long God got me here, and I'm talking about the Holy Spirit, God, Almighty, however long I'm here, I'm not going to live my life in fear because what is going to happen, what is written to happen, the prophecy that first happened is going to happen no matter what. I'm just not going to live in fear about it. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to worry about it. I might talk about it here and there, but in my spirit, I am at peace because I stand on what I believe God is saying, and He said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Period. None. Not a few, not a couple, not a all. None. So that's what I stand on. I'm not saying what you said is not true. No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about every day when this gonna happen, when the earth gonna open up. I don't want to live like that.
That's not even what. But you took that completely out of context, Patricia, because that ain't what was said.
Use the one little sample of what you're saying. But I'm just saying, even the New World Order says there's nothing you can do to stop it.
It's not about stopping it. It's not about inciting fear. We're not talking about fear, Patricia. It's not about that. It's not about walking in fear. It's about being given the information, knowing what to look out for, because you can be tricked. You can be fooled into believing what you see is what it is.
By human nature, just telling somebody that, whether they're religious or not, that is definitely going to cause you anxiety, a very high, like right now. A lot of people with mental health are flipping out. A lot of drug addicts and stuff that no longer can go to their groups for weekly meetings and whatnot because it's shut down for this, are flipping out. The epinephrine is kicked in. You know, it's a natural human response. When you hear something like, oh my God, just like when they start seeing people get sick, then one person run out, you see somebody buying all the tissues, another word like, well, let me get tissue, but let me get food, let me get bread. You know, so it is a natural, it's a natural human response. Like, what can you do to prevent fear, because what you're saying is like, don't think of it with fear, but only 10%. When I'm thinking you part of this 10%, only 10% of the people, particularly women, can think logically without emotion. 90% women are full of emotion. Usually men think logically, but you have like a good 10, 12% of men who think emotionally, and usually women are thinking, with their emotion, which is why, like, when they get divorced, unless you can prove a woman unfit, the court will always side with the woman because the woman was born and raised and nurtured. Now, I bet they didn't see the whole drug thing and everything coming along the way, but realistically speaking, it's in our nature to worry, and I'm not worried, but my faith, and I'm not wholly religious. I don't go Sunday, but I do feel like I have a personal relationship with God. I do see where you're coming from, Kim, as far as different regions and people, because statistics have shown that people are 10 to 15% less religious than it was years ago, and you see it. Because you used to see people conjure as a kid, that's what I saw. I don't really see that as much. You really don't see it. But then there's also other ways besides getting up going to church. There's a lot of churches that's on Facebook, and just it's a lot. There's other ways to find your path. But all the ways, just with this coming in, it does not stop the fear. And it's okay to be afraid at times. You just you don't want to take out. You don't want to take out a mortgage and fear. You don't want to live there. You go through it, because the triumph is coming out on the other side. So it's okay to go through it as long as you don't live there. But to say, you just can't be afraid, that is impossible. Like right now, I'm seeing the National Guard out there help delivering boxes. And I'm like, oh, they're doing a friendly thing. Now, in the future, which I think is going to happen, when I start seeing these same people and things, my whole epinephrine is going to jump to a different level, because this is not what they promised, but they were already planted in place, which is going to push my fear factor up. The only thing that has kept me calm the entire time is my faith. Yeah, that is the only thing that kept me calm, because the way I see it, you're going to pray about it and believe. You can't worry about it, because you got to believe that your prayer, what God told you to do, that, it's going to take care of it. So if you're going to pray about it, you can't worry about it. And if you're going to worry about it, then don't pray about it. So that's the only thing I'm saying. Talking about the things that are being things that's not prophecy, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that focusing on it is enticing fear. But if you don't worry about what's happening, because what's going to happen is going to happen. But you are protected. I want to live in peace. I don't give them. It might, if an alien come out the sky, I'm just like, look, okay, all right, and I just want to keep it moving. I don't want to be in fear. I don't want to live in fear. I don't want to wake up every day saying, okay, is this the right spirit or the right spirit? Is that the wrong spirit? Is he real? I don't want to live like that. I just want to trust God and keep it moving. And when it's going to be, it's going to be. I used to tell my kids, junk in, junk out. What you feed your spirit. He says, you don't have the spirit of fear. He didn't say, when you hear something with the spirit of fear, but they don't. He's saying, I don't give you the spirit of fear. If we go back, now this is what, in meditation, God said, man, there is nothing in the world. Do you understand everything I've said? It ain't no maybe, or sometimes you can stand on it. You can take it to the bank. It ain't going to go down stocks or whatever. It's true word. But we have to meditate on it. This is the time where we can't waste no time. I mean, we got to stay in prayer. We got to stay in meditation. We got to know God. He'll give you what you need. He'll give you the information. You got to read. You got to study. You got to meditate on it. The word says, meditate on my word day and night. That's like day and night. And so the word that I want to meditate on is anything that is going to increase my peace. I don't want to meditate and think and study on something that's going to incite my fear.
Patricia.
I mean, the word right now.
That's a decision also.
Because everything you learn, you hear the coronavirus on Facebook, coronavirus on news, coronavirus on news. They continuously
Shut up, dog.
they're basically saying the same thing. You know what? This is something I want to read this scripture right now, just real quick, and then I'm going to get off the phone. Psalm 91 says, "Whoever dwelleth in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty." That's period. I say, "Oh Lord, He is my refuge, my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare, from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and your rampart. Not fear in the terror of night, nor in the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right side, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes the punishment of the wicked. I pray, the Lord is my refuge, and the Most High your dwelling. No harm will overtake you. No disaster will come near your tent, for He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all. Concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against any stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will not trample the great lion and the serpent. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him. For He acknowledges my name. He will call on me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show my salvation. That right there, scripture 91, I tell you, that's a wrap.
Now,
that is what I'm talking about. That is the solution.
let me say this. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be done. Let me say this. Let me say this. That first of all, you have to know that is a confirmation to Old Testament, correct?
Thank you.
But it applies to those who are obedient. It applies to those who are obedient. Obedience comes. It's not just because you just believe. It's not just because of what's in your heart. It's because you follow instructions. But you have to understand what the instructions are, even if you don't like them. You have to understand it. You have to follow them. You have to receive the information. You have to apply the information. You have to walk in the truth in order for that to apply to you. Now, I'm done.
Hey, Kim.
Yes.
What's her name? Angela. She preached a while back and said, guess what? God's people are saved. The question is, are you deceived?
That's the part, and that's what I'm talking about. That's the part. That's the part. Do you know his voice? Do you know the voice of the Most? Because two of them will call Patricia's name. Two of them discussion with. Because you were the one that we were having the initial discussion with. That's all I'm saying. You have to know the voice of the Most High, love. That's all I'm saying. because you will hear it differently. You will hear it differently. You will see it differently, and it will look and sound like the righteous, and it won't be that.
I will always believe what I know. I know what the Holy Spirit is. I know what that is.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it at. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it.
And he speaks with love, because love comforts all. So I do know when he's talking to me. I know that God is talking to me. And it's always in a comforting, peaceful love. It's always love. It's always love. That's how I know when he's talking to me. Anything that does not have love surrounded by it, it's not from him. But when it's love, when it got something to do with love, when it's protection, when it's causing peace, I know it's coming from him. I know. Yeah, I'm not relieved. No, I'm not. But I am. That's true. But I'm gonna tell you something. Wherever he gives hope and blessing, there's always some instructions of what you got to do. And righteousness, and I'm talking to myself, because you know what? I don't think I'd be in a good place if the rapture came tonight. So I'm talking to myself. What I'm hearing, God say, get yourself out in order. Because you know what? You can believe all day long. If you don't have a lifestyle to go with it, or amen, it doesn't. It's not going to line up. It's not going to line up, because he has, but there's always an instruction. Going to. Hold on, just let me. Hold on. Lord, thank you. Okay, Psalm 23. Find wherever you find the one that's in the New Testament. Now this was my scripture, Psalm 1. Blessed is the one who does not walk in the steps with the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, take or sit in the company of mockers, but whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. Whatever. Not so the wicked. They are like chaff that the wind blows away. Therefore, the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to destruction. I'm done.
I'm done too. I'm done. I could. I definitely could. No, I definitely could go, but there's no point.
So the spiritual warfare we talk about today. What do you mean there's no point? What do you mean there's no point? Tim, can you wrap up? Can you wrap up
Yes.
Can you wrap up one point? Like, can you just highlight what you took the time to research and communicate to us? What is in a sense?
It's not. No, I'm gonna answer it that way, because it was no. Because if it's not going to be received the way it needs to be received, and I know what I'm about to say is going to be received incorrectly also, is casting pearls amongst the swine, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, and that is no personal shot. I cannot post it. Nope, I cannot. I cannot post it.
Can you send it to me? I mean, I want to know the fix. Because this ain't the first time I've heard of nothing that you're talking about. I know that.
Send me your email. I'll email it to you, but I cannot post it. I'm not going to repeat it anymore. It was supposed to come out the way tonight. I asked when was it supposed to happen.
I'll send you my email.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
When you talk about the 6 steps, Psalms 1 is, I've never seen this before. It's listed 1 through 6.
What are you talking about?
I don't know if there's any significance to that. You're talking about the 6 steps, correct?
There's 4.
Or the 6?
Mm-hmm. We're talking about 4 of them.
Okay. Are there 4 or are there 6?
There's actually 10, but I'm talking about 4 major ones. I'm talking about 4 in particular. But I'm not talking about it anymore.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, DJ. You kind of went over my head because I listen to you, and maybe because I'm not an auditory learner. I'm a visual. I got to read it for myself. But I really don't see what someone had to do with what we were talking about. I'm a little bit lost. Well, Kim was very when Kim talked about backing it up with a lifestyle. Psalms 1 is putting that down from what God considers to be righteous and what He considers to be unrighteous. Okay. And I take myself to the restroom for a minute. To me, my thing is tonight, based on what she was saying, and I understand what Patricia, I understand what everybody was saying. To me, my goal was just to deliver scripture relating to the topic. And Psalms 91, basically, when we were talking about how, with Kim not saying those things come before, knowing the information, not being deceived, taking your emotions out of it. So, right. Psalm 91 was just saying that if there's any kind of fear, God's promise is saying, can't nothing touch you, no matter what you're going to go through, no matter what this world is going to do. You are protected. Period. You're protected. But then there's some things Kim was saying. There's some things that come before that we have to put in place. Right.
Real quick, DJ.
You can't just say, "Oh my God," because I believe and I think God's going to do. No, I don't think God's going to work like that.
Exactly.
I mean, just say life doesn't work like that.
Go to real quick 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 11. Go real quick to that.
Okay, spell Thessalonians.
THESSOL, I think.
Okay.
ONINAS.
What is in the new book? It's in Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians, because I can't hear Kim.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 11.
Verse 11. Okay. So I'm going to the NIV, and it says, for this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion, so that they will believe the lie. Wow. So right there, I need to read what's before it and after.
All of that. Exactly. That's what I'm talking. All of that.
I need more information.
Exactly.
I need to bring my Bible. At the top of number 2, the title of it says "The Man of Lawlessness."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For this reason, God sends them a powerful. What's a delusion? What's a delusion? Meaning
something that ain't true. You will be shown something that ain't real because that's what you want to believe. That's what it means.
So that is the enemy because he's a manipulator. He calls you. He does things in a sneaky way. He's going to cause you to believe something that's a lie.
Because you choose to believe it. The Most High is saying also, because you want to believe a lie, I'm going to show you one. And not only am I going to show you one, I'm going to cause you to believe and accept that it's the truth. And you're going to live in that lie. You're going to promote that lie. You're going to fight for that lie. You will die for that lie. All of that because you choose to, because you don't want the information. You don't want to know what I'm saying for real, for real. You don't want to hear it. You want to stay in your feelings. That's why I will send you something that will give you exactly what you want. I will give you something that will complement what you desire. That's what you want? I'm gonna give it to you. You want somebody to rule over you instead of me? I'm gonna give it to you.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. These are not my words, okay? Like I said, I wrote them down as I understand them. This is not a personal attack. This is not my opinion on anything. When I speak to you, when I speak from a divine download, which means I'm being given the information because I have a purpose to give the information. What you do with it, that's on you. I ain't got shit to do with what you do with the information. The information is your weapon. How you use your weapon is on you. You can use your weapon to fight back, or you can use your weapon and fall on it yourself. Either way, the weapon can be used against you if you don't use it properly or recognize what it is.
Right. Now that's true right there. And I can even tell in Kim's voice that this is not her voice. This is a voice of, what do you want to call it? I can't even think. When you're trying to, I can't even think of it. But it's a very specific assignment to bring things, to bring awareness, to bring things in understanding. It's a call to authority. That's what I get out of the voice, because this is not your natural voice.
No.
Not to me.
Right.
Well, what is that? But I'm saying that it's information coming from a specific source that.
I want to bring something, and I'm glad you brought that up. I want to bring something else up to you also, because
to us, but we have to receive it. We have to receive it.
Let me say this real quick also, because you made mention before that when you hear the Most High speak to you, that it's always calm, it's always peaceful, right? But when the
you talking to me?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm on a plate.
no, I'm just asking you a question. I'm just asking a question because that's how you said you hear him, right? Okay. Now let me just give you this. Let me just give you this.
I know what I'm hearing from that.
That's fine. I'm not arguing nothing. Okay. I'm giving you thought. Again, I am a provoker. Okay. I deliberately am made to speak the way that I do so you will think about it. I provoke thought. The Most High comes to you and speaks softly, so you know it brings you peace.
No. I'm not talking about the tone. I'm talking about the feel of peace.
Okay, but listen. Okay, now listen. I'm not gonna take away from that. Let me add to it. Okay, when the Most High spoke to the children of Israel, when He spoke, they said to Moses, Lord, don't let him speak to us. You speak to us. You speak to us lest we what? Die. Because that voice was too strong, too loud, too harsh for them to tolerate. There is the God, that righteous God is still a God of war. First of all, He ain't going to be all calm and peaceful all the doggone time. People mistake Him for being some type of punk. And I'm going to say it like that. He ain't no punk. If He got to say something to you, he ain't going to be all soft and calm and cute and, call me so you can, okay. It ain't going to necessarily be like that. Because in the times of war, He's got to speak to you. He's got to speak to you where He can be heard. And let me finish. I use this scenario all the time. I speak about my ex-husband. Okay, we had some difficulties in communication at the time because he was not understanding why my tone kept changing, why I kept elevating. I spoke very calmly. Here's a scenario. I said, dear, I used an example of wires connecting behind a couch. Okay. I said, there's some wires that are loose behind the couch. Roll with me, y'all. There's some wires that are loose behind the couch. He said, I'll get to it later. So, okay, cool. Later comes, the wires have, they split. You know, the outside part of it has split. I said, dear, the wires have now split behind the couch. He says, I'll get to them later. Okay, same voice. The next time, the wires are now touching. My voice elevated a smidgen. Love, the wires behind the couch, they're touching now. Okay, I'll get to it later. Okay, later comes, these wires, they smoking right now. You might want to handle that. Okay, I'm gonna get to it later. We done got now to the point where the wires are on fire. The wires are on fire now behind the couch. He's still talking about, I'm gonna get to it later. I done raised my voice. Nigga, look, the house on fire. I'm out. I don't know what you about to do, but I'm about to go. The house is on fire. I tried to tell your ass before, blah, 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 blah. You listen, you kept telling me I'm gonna deal with it later. The response was, I don't like your tone. I don't like how that sounds. But you missed all the information. You missed the part where I was trying to save your life when I was talking calmly. I was giving you all of the details calmly. I was showing what was leading up to your destruction calmly, but you weren't hearing me. You didn't hear me until I got loud. Now pay attention to what I'm saying. Did I provoke you enough to get the hell out that burning house? Or are you going to stand there and be upset because of the way I said get the hell out this burning house? That's your decision. Pay attention to the information. Don't worry about how it's coming out. Pay attention to what is being said, because the louder it gets, the time is more. Calm it down. It's more. Give me the word. What's the word I'm looking for? It is that time right now that you need to be paying attention right now. There is no more time to be soft talking. There is no more time to be whispering. There is no more time to be writing notes and passing them. I need you to hear it. The only way you're going to hear it, the only way you're going to feel me talking is if I'm hollering in your face. If I change my tone, if I hurt your ears, whatever it is. However, I got to get through to you for you to hear me, for you to be provoked by what I'm saying, for you to be convinced and convicted by what's being said, for you to move and save your own damn life. That's what the hell I'm going to do. I love you on purpose, with purpose, and I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to change that. If your feelings got hurt, goddamn it, I tell you all the time, don't bring them here. Don't bring them here. I tell you all the time, don't bring your feelings, because I'm going to hurt them. I don't care about your feelings. It's about saving your life. Saving your life. And I understand NWES, news. Not everyone wants salvation. I get that. I get it.
Is it my turn now? Is it my turn?
If it's about you being heard, go ahead.
It's a lot. I definitely understand what you're saying as far as when God speaks to you, when he tells you, like, for instance, a prime example is obedience. When God tells you something the first time, you don't listen. Like when I used the example of when I was in Atlanta and I knew God was telling me to come back home, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I didn't. For me, see, God deals with everybody differently for how they will be able to receive what he's saying. So the way he speaks to you is not going to be the way he speaks to me, because he knows me. He knows he created me. He knows every inch of who I am, and he knows how I listen to him. So for me, when he's speaking to me and he's telling me to do something and I don't do it, generally it's followed up by the action that shows me what I should have done, and so that I can make the right decision next time and do it the right way, so that I don't go through the hardship. He speaks me differently. So for me, he ain't got to yell. He don't the yelling ain't what he got to do for me. For me, he follows up what he tells me by action. I always know because he always fought whatever he said to me. There's always evidence of it by action, by what happens, by things that transpire, and that's how I know. So no, he don't yell at me like that. No, I'm sorry, he don't. But that doesn't mean that I don't hear him. So for you, maybe he speaks to you differently. I can hear the conviction and how strongly you feel about what you believe, and ain't nothing wrong with that. And then who am I to tell you that what you're saying is not true? I'm not saying that. Because prophecy says these things are going to happen. So I'm not doubting anything that you're saying. New world order, of course, things are changing. It's obvious. It's all around us. You can't deny. You can't even hide from it if you wanted to. So I'm not denying anything that you're saying. The only thing that I'm saying, Kim, is that I believe that God has me covered. I believe that 10,000 may fall at my left, 10,000 may fall at my right, but none will come near me. I believe that no weapon against me shall prosper. Doesn't mean I can go, but it's not to prosper over me. And I have the faith to be able to walk in my spirit, man, in peace, in spite of what's going on the outside. That's what I'm saying. I choose not to live in fear. I choose not to worry about the shit that is about to happen, could happen, is on the way to happen. I choose not to, because I'd rather have my environment be filled with peace. I'd rather walk in a peaceful way in my spirit. I need to be peace. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I'm not saying none of this stuff you're talking about is not going to happen, because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If they were to open up a war camp tomorrow and take all of it, it is what it is. Ain't nothing you can do about that. But I still choose to trust God and live in peace. That's the only thing I'm saying. I believe that God has us covered.
So
and when
true peace come to know it.
We're going to go. When we come here, we're here for a period of time, and that's right. We're going to leave. We just don't know how. We none of us know how we're going to leave, and we don't know when we're going to leave. But we know we're going to leave. We know that we're not going to stay here forever. We know that things in the Bible already prophesied about stuff that is to come to the world. We know that. So what you're talking about is really just makes it, maybe it's spoken differently, but it's still revelation. I understand that. That's not something I don't know. I do know that. I just choose to live in peace. And what's going to be is going to be. I'm not perfect, but I have love for God. I trust Him. I believe that I'm covered. And that's what I choose to stand on. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not doubting anything you're saying is going to be. Whatever it is, it is. There are many things that are happening that we cannot see. There's a spiritual warfare that's going on that we do not see on a daily basis. There are days that your life could have been taken. The only reason why it wasn't taken is because there was an angel that you didn't see that stopped you. So I know there's a spiritual warfare going on. I know that there's all these things that happen. I know that. In fact, the fact that you even wanted tonight's show to be about spiritual warfare shows it right there. You wanted to show that there's spiritual warfare going on, and we are living in that time, and it's going to show up in different ways. I understand that. I understand it. But what I'm saying is I choose to live in peace. I choose to live in love. I choose not to fear. I choose not to worry. I choose to trust on the words that I believe that God is saying to me, which is no weapon formed against you shall prosper. That's what I choose to believe. What you choose to believe is you, because that's your belief. So if you believe that all these things are going to happen and you got to see that they might come to you in this, that, kind of way, and that's what you believe, and that's your reality. And I can't knock it. I'm saying I choose to live in peace. I choose to live in peace. I can't worry about what's going to happen, what could happen, what Rockefeller's planning, what world war is going to happen, what Trump's going to do. I can't worry about none of that. Even the virus, if it's going to hit me, it's going to hit me. There's nothing I can do about it. But I'm going to live in peace. My daily reality is peace. I trust God. I believe that He has me covered. And for me, that's all I need. That's all I need. That might not be all you need or anybody else needs, but that's all I need. And as long as I'm at peace, and I know I have a relationship with God, and I know that He's covering me, that's all I'm concerned about. I choose to live in peace. Period.
Well, live in it, honey, and rest in it as well. Rest in it as well. Rest in it also. Live in it and rest in it. Just understand it's still going to be exactly what it's going to be. Like I said, I'm not telling you to be in fear. That's not that way the conversation at all. It was about preparation, because we're still told to prepare. We're still told, instructed to know. We're still instructed to search diligently. We're told to do that.
The only thing you're going to be able to fight a spiritual warfare with is the spiritual weapons that God has given you, which is faith, which is trust, which is love, which is the things that we can do.
It's knowledge. Why did you skip that? It's knowledge. It's knowing. Knowing is the weapon. It's knowing. It's not just love and faith. It's not just love and faith. It's knowledge. You have to know.
Okay, so we have always had that knowledge. Revelation has been, that Bible has been around forever. What you're speaking about is revelation. So we've always known that. We all know that. That is something we know on a daily, regardless of what your religion is. We all know this. This is not, you're not bringing any new information.
I know that I'm not. So I was trying to understand the part of why we were having a debate. If you know that I'm not giving you any new information.
All I'm saying is I choose to live in I choose not to worry. At any point, if the government is listening to us right now, they want to take us out. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. But I choose not to care about it. If it's going to be on, it's going to be on. There's nothing to do about that. But I choose not to love you guys. My prayer is, Lord, because God said, we perish from the lack of knowledge. We perish from the lack of knowledge, information, knowing, understanding. Know your enemy. Watch and be aware. The only way we can watch and be aware, He does not want us to just be, I'm in faith, but I don't know what's going on. That doesn't match up, because we got to know. He wants us to know. That's why it's written. It's like understand and know, because even in understanding, you move differently. Your faith is elevated with information. So my prayer is that, Lord, help me get in line, meaning I don't want no flaws in my lifestyle. I want to get in line first, and then I need your presence. You got to be in prayer. You got to seek information, seek him. He'll give you the information because he has it. And then, you know what? And then it's like, okay, with all of that, you can't live in fear, Patricia. I don't live in fear. So, no, I'm saying only believe with but in order not to live in fear, we got to
have the information.
We got to go through all those steps first.
Exactly. You get peace in knowing. Peace is in knowing. Okay, I'm out, y'all.
So I don't got to go through all those steps because I'm already believing.
Y'all can be here, but I'm about to be out.
I don't want to go through the 4, 5, 6, 7 steps
Yo, hold on
of what hell's going to be like for me to have peace. I don't have to. I already trust him.
Because I can't do it.
Love you, ladies.
Love you too, honey. Love you on purpose with purpose. I'm always be. Always do. Peace. Good night.
I love y'all. Thank you guys. Still love y'all.
Love you on purpose with purpose.
We can peacefully disagree. I still love y'all. Love y'all. Good night.
Good night.
Even though I ain't getting that word in, I still love y'all anyway.
All right, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey. Guess what, though?
Girl. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Okay. You hear me? I think I'm still on a conference call. You calling me from a 470 number? Hang up and call me right back. Oh, bye y'all. Sorry about that. I will talk to y'all later. I know it got heated, it got excited, but I thank you all for being here. Thank you for your comments. Y'all can continue the conversation if you like. If any information was incorrect, inaccurate, correct it. Do what you do. Help us out. Nonetheless, y'all know what it is. Love you on purpose with purpose. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.